I don't need to worry about classical law, scholarship. I just make up my own religion. I give a fatwa saying kill the Jews.
And they do. And they do. That's exactly what they are doing.
And aren't you validating them? Because you're saying from a liberal perspective, we make it up as we go along. No. And they from an extremist perspective say, let's make it up as we go along. You're almost empowering the very people you claim to be fighting with.
You know, that's a very...
19-year-old student, Shaban Ahmed, software engineering student at Al-Azhar University. Jonathan's military destroyed his university, destroyed his house, displaced him, made him homeless 5 times over the past year. On Monday, the world, we all watched him burn to death thanks to Israelis bombing the area outside the hospital that he was on an IV, on a bed, in a tent. He burned to death. His mother died. 2 other, maybe 3 other people died. I'm not sure how Jonathan still comes on these shows and defends that kind of barbarism and open war crimes. I'm not sure how Jonathan sleeps at night watching people burn to death thanks to the military that he served and is now being investigated both at the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court.
Quick spokesman saying on camera after October the 7th, we are going to keep doing this again and again and again. That's different.
It's much worse because the Israelis are literally doing it as we speak.
And they have a charter to get rid of it.
It's much worse, Piers,
they have a
because the
charter
Israelis
to eliminate
have killed
Israel.
tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, but see,
they have tens
my
of
problem,
thousands of Palestinians.
You and I agree. You and I, Mehdi.
Hold on, Piers. Yeah. So does the Likud Party. 1977 Likud Party charter. What does it say? Between the sea and the Jordan, there will only be Israeli sovereignty. River to the sea. That's the Likud charter, Piers. I haven't heard you criticize the Likud charter.
Favor of what are quite mild consequences for the Saudis. We're not talking about regime change. Crispin did. We didn't bring it up. We're just talking about the cutting of ties, for the ending of red carpets, for the suspension of arms sales. Don't listen to the fear-mongering of the opposition, of Crispin Blunt, who tells us that if we stop selling bombs to Saudi Arabia, there'll be a revolution inside the kingdom, which seems rather bizarre to me. For a man who's such a big supporter of Brexit, he's given us a lot of Project Fear tonight. And this isn't just about human rights.
Tonight, the colonel knows that hundreds of people went to Netanyahu's house and screamed, "You have blood on your hands," Israeli protesters. I guess they're all Hamas, right? The Israeli position now is anyone who disagrees with them is Hamas. I'm guessing that tomorrow they'll say CIA Director Bill Burns, who was involved in this hostage negotiation deal, he's Hamas too. Everyone's Hamas. And as for deception, I mean, come on. The colonel was a spokesperson for the IDF, which has spent the last 6 months lying. Abby, your network has debunked multiple lies that the Israeli military has told. CNN's Jeremy Diamond, I urge all your viewers to go and watch your colleague Jeremy Diamond's report on 10 kids killed in the Al-Maghazi refugee camp last month. The Israelis said we had nothing to do with it. And yet Jeremy interviewed 3 munitions experts who looked at the evidence and said, yeah, Israel killed those 10 kids. So when we talk about deception, we're learning from the masters here.
There's no way for them to attack these warships that they're being called hospitals without, in your view, violating international law.
I mean, it's a crap analogy, Jamie, with respect. Nobody's claiming that Hamas built hospitals as warships. The argument is, are they using hospitals to hide in or hide under? Nobody disputes those are hospitals. Have you been to those hospitals? My friend just came back from a hospital in Gaza. He saw kids being brought in with gunshot wounds to their head. He saw people having operations without anesthetic. The WHO has pointed out that the vast majority of healthcare facilities in Gaza have been damaged or destroyed. Dozens of American and Canadian and British doctors have gone out. White people, Jamie, not just brown Muslims, have gone out there and come back and said,
we're not going to play the race game there, Mehdi.
No, I need to finish my sentence. They need to come back in. They've all gone out and said hospitals, healthcare facilities have been destroyed, have been damaged. For you to claim that Hamas built a hospital pretending it's a military base is an absurd analogy.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing it.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table. Yeah. And people would sit there and, no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. Okay. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that...
Did you just say I should die?
Here's what I will say.
Forget the racism.
That's right.
It's I should die.
I didn't say that. You should die.
What does beeper mean? Don't give me your fake ignorance.
I did not say you should die.
Why did you say with my beeper?
What did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper? What did you mean by the beeper? No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist comment. Yeah. In 2010, you made $750,000. You had the money to pay for law school. You didn't need a Soros affirmative action scholarship that you now criticize.
I mean, none of this is worthy, but if you think it is, let's get to the detail. That was actually the first big piece
You say you're anti-affirmative action. You took a scholarship for immigrants.
I'm anti-affirmative action.
So why did you take a scholarship for the children of immigrants?
Which falsehood would you like me to address? The financial one or the one about my views on affirmative action? Because I can go in whichever order you'd like.
Did you not make $750,000?
On the financial piece of it. Not at the time that I had applied for the scholarship
yes, you did.
that fall.
Yes, you did.
That December.
Yes, you did,
On
Vivek.
December,
This is awkward for you because
believe
you
me,
did. I've got the tax returns in front of